Welcome to The Explainer. For a while now, we've thought of AI as just a tool, something that helps us do our work. But that's changing. We're moving beyond that to the next big step, a genuine digital colleague, something called an AI agent. And it might just be the key to unlocking AI's real power in the workplace. Okay, so let's start with a crazy number. It feels like AI is everywhere, right? Well, it pretty much is. A recent survey found that a whopping 80% of companies are using generative AI tools. That is a massive adoption rate for any new technology. But there's a twist. Despite all that excitement, all that money being poured in, a lot of those same companies are reporting, well, not much. No real, tangible impact on their bottom line. It's this weird situation experts are calling the Gen AI paradox. Everyone's using it, but very few are actually getting the results they hoped for. So what's going on here?
Well, there's actually a name for this problem. It's called Pilot Purgatory. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You have these promising AI projects, these cool pilots that show so much potential, but they just get stuck. They never make that jump from being a neat experiment to a core, high-value part of the business. And you can imagine it is super frustrating for everyone involved.
So, okay, how do we escape this cycle? How do we break out of Pilot Purgatory? Well, the answer might actually be a completely different way of thinking about AI. Enter the AI agent. And this isn't just another buzzword. It's a real strategic shift in how we approach automation.
Okay, so what in the world is an AI agent? Really. Think beyond the chatbots we're all used to. With a chatbot, you ask a question, you get an answer. With an agent, you give it a mission. It can then actually reason, create a whole plan with multiple steps, and then go out and use different software and tools to get that mission done, all on its own. And this slide really nails the difference. Think of an AI Copilot as being reactive. It's like a great assistant sitting shotgun, helping you do your work faster. But an AI agent, that's proactive. It's more like a digital colleague you can hand a whole project to. You delegate the entire workflow, and it just runs with it, from start to finish.
All right, that all sounds great in theory, but where is this actually working? Let's look at some real-world examples where these agents are already delivering serious value way beyond just being a cool idea.
Take healthcare, for instance. AI agents are working around the clock as digital assistants for pathologists. They can scan thousands of tissue samples, learning to spot these tiny microscopic patterns of cancer with, get this, 99.5% accuracy. That's incredible. It helps doctors catch things earlier, which, can literally save lives. Then you've got the crazy, high-stakes world of finance. AI agents are just churning through market data and making trades at a speed no human could ever hope to match. And we're not talking about small gains here. Some of these top trading agents have pulled in annualized returns of over 200%. They're just flat out outperforming human traders. And here's the thing. This isn't just a game for huge corporations. We're seeing a whole new kind of entrepreneur pop up, creating what people are calling an AI CEO. It's basically a system of agents that can run entire online business. We're talking everything from marketing and ads to customer service and finance. You can now, theoretically, build and scale a whole company with 0 full-time human employees. Wild. So these examples, they're not just one-offs. They're actually pointing to two massive trends that are completely changing how we think about work and even how our teams are structured. First up, we've got the rise of what are called multi-agent systems. So instead of trying to build one giant AI that does everything, the smarter approach is to build a team of specialized AIs. It's just like a human team, right? You might have a planner agent to map out the strategy, an executor agent that does the grunt work, and then an auditor agent that comes in at the end to check everything for quality. And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of it. The skill of the future isn't going to be about who can write the best prompt for a single AI. No, the real value will be in being an architect, designing and managing these systems of specialized agents so they can all work together without a hitch. And that leads us right into the second big trend, how our own role as humans is changing. We're on this journey, right? We're moving away from being the doer of the task to becoming the reviewer who checks the AI's work, and ultimately to being the manager, the agent boss who oversees a whole team of digital workers. Okay, I know, this all sounds pretty amazing, revolutionary even, but let's pump the brakes for a second. Before we get too carried away, we need a big reality check. The road to actually using these agents is full of hype, for sure, but it's also packed with some very real challenges.
So even with all this potential,
companies are being pretty careful. A recent Gartner poll showed that 42% of businesses have only made some conservative investments so far, and another 31%, they're basically just sitting on the sidelines in wait-and-see mode. So clearly, people are moving slowly.
And a huge reason for that caution is security. I mean, think about it. For these agents to do their job, they need deep access to your company's most sensitive systems and data. That opens up some major risks. It's no wonder that over 3/4 of business leaders have serious concerns about security and staying compliant with all the big regulations like GDPR and HIPAA. And it's not just security. Honestly, building these things is just hard, really hard. The failure rate for companies that try to build their own do-it-all generic agent from scratch is a massive 75%. That is a staggering number. And it's usually because they can't get it to integrate properly or they just don't have the right kind of super specific data it needs to be trained on. So here's the main takeaway, the path to success. The companies that are actually winning with this stuff, they're not trying to build some magical, all-powerful AI. No way. They are focusing on specialized, what we call vertical agents. Agents designed to do one specific, high-value job extremely well, with all the security and governance baked right in from the start. And that really brings us to the final, critical question for all of us. This shift from thinking of AI as a tool to thinking of it as a colleague, it's happening right now. This isn't science fiction anymore. So the real question you have to ask yourself isn't if your first digital colleague is coming, it's are you ready to manage it?